the NDA attempt, I understood that it's a raw data. I have to know about everything in my PIQ. So I prepared PIQ like my life depends on it.
Hello everyone, my name is Zubiksha Thakur and today I'm going to introduce you to alumnus of SSB Wings who has recently got recommended, Utkarsh Khaire. So I welcome you Utkarsh. Will you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Utkarsh Khaire and I'm a resident of Pune and I've been living most of my life in Pune. 11 and 12th, I've been in SPI Services Preparatory Institute, which is in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. And currently, I'm studying in college, PICT in Pune. And I got recommended in my fourth attempt for NDA 148 course.
Okay, so Utkarsh, you mentioned about SBI where you have studied. So can you please explain a little about it? What is it about?
Okay. So SPI is Services Preparatory Institute, and it takes in 60 cadets, 60 candidates from all over Maharashtra, and it trains them to they are prepared for facing SSB interview. It's mostly like a feeder institute to NDA, and for 2 years we have been trained there, and for 1 year it is a junior year, secondly we are senior year. So we are first taught how to follow and how to take orders and understand and the basics, and after that in senior term we are giving the same training to our juniors and also leading by an example which our seniors have set for us. And,
Oh wow, that's an amazing institute.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, Utkarsh, so you just told that it was your fourth attempt, right? So what happened in your previous attempts?
Okay. So my previous attempt, my first attempt, it was in Bhopal, 20 SSB, and that time I got conferenced out. And after my first attempt, I realized that GTO is my Waterloo, that I'm not able to take care of my PGT tasks, and I was very underconfident regarding them. So I was already looking after many Telegram groups and also practicing, seeing like how people are practicing using pictures. But then I came across SSB Wings. So me and one of my friends, we thought we should take the classes for GTO, and whatever it is, beneficial or not, let's see what's in store. And we had also seen that a couple of our seniors, they are from immediate course, they had taken these classes and they're also given very positive feedbacks regarding them. So I joined for the SSB Wings coaching for GTO, and after which for 4 days we were taught about how the structures are placed and what are the concepts. So it quite refreshed my mind, and whatever I had initially, the all doubts cleared out. I was very confident in GTO that whatever obstacle comes, I'll be able to clear it. After that, not only that, he had Sir Vishal sir, he had given us a ton of practice obstacles. So every now and then, जब भी time मिलती है 5-10 minute का, we just used to look at it. ठीक है, okay, this would be placed like this. अगर रस्सी बांध देंगे, this would be done. Okay, done, finished. So in our mind, we were able to visualize in about 15-20 seconds कि ये करना है, done. So this way I was quite prepared about my GTO. After that also GP I took the plus class. So for GP also he had told us to make it action oriented and make it very detailed, do some research, and also given us a quite a procedure and small things which matter, like not calling them problems but calling the situations, then introducing and talking about them one by one, giving initial statements. This were also quite beneficial. These small things I kept in mind. After that, even though for next immediate 2 attempts I got screened out, and I had immediately informed sir, screen out ho gaya, what should I do now? So sir told me, dil nahi harna. If you want to come, you can join SSCA. And at that time, I was not in a very good mood. Plus, my parents were not very allowing towards it. They were saying that engineering ka bhi exam, then I don't go anywhere. So I came back, studied for this engineering, and meanwhile also I kept in touch with sir. Sir, screening के लिए screening के लिए और कुछ बता दो, this tips बता दो. And then I also went with quite a good preparation for TS 46, but still I got screened out there. So I was not very dejected this time because I knew that TS में बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ आती है. So it's a different case कि I got screened out in this one. But for NDA it was very heartbreaking, but I realized that I've made some improvement this time. And with a little much more of improvement, I got screened in TS, this NDA 148 course. And when I got screened in, after that I knew that we psych test ही देना है अगले दिन. I was completely relaxed since my preparation was very confident in it. And I knew that अभी मुझे तो कर लेंगे select. I asked him about it. He psych test, what was the feedback. So he also gave me a little bit overview on it. And for the next about 1 to 2 weeks, I was sending him my responses. ये WAT लिख के भेज देता हूँ. TAT a couple of them I sent them. Then he suggested me कि इसको यहाँ improve कर, यहाँ ये change कर, फिर PIQ में थोड़ा सा भेज दे, फिर ये वाला change कर. So by little, for at the end of 2 weeks, I was very confident कि psych भी निकल जाएगा. Not to worry.
Okay,
And
so Utkarsh,
that
you told
friend,
me that in your first SSB, you felt that you were lagging in your ground tasks, right? Especially in the PGT,
yeah,
you were feeling underconfident and you were
yeah.
not able to perform, right? So then you underwent the courses here in SSB Wings. So when you went after the preparation to the SSB, so did you feel the difference?
Yes, yes,
So
quite a
what,
lot.
like, were there the situations when your group was stuck and you were the one who was actually helping the group sailing through?
Yes, that happened a little bit. So what happened was in my PGT, in first PGT, as sir has said, first PGT तुमको कुछ नहीं करना है. Because a lot of people will be giving ideas, there will be a ruckus, and your solution, even though good, will not be heard. So first PGT, I was just at the back holding the load, and since everybody was speaking, I gave in a little 2 cents of mine. तो वो obstacle cross हो गया. Second PGT, by the half of it, the whole group was stuck. कोई कुछ बता रहा है, कोई कुछ और बता रहा है, कोई शांत खड़ा है पीछे. So I said that let me come ahead. If my idea does not work, then we can revert back to yours. So I went ahead. I solved that PGT. The GTO was, what is the plan? I explained it to him. Then he said, okay, go forward. Then we were on the third PGT, and this time I performed fairly well for the half the task. But then my GTO, he said, if anybody has idea, come ahead, come ahead. So this time, one of the other candidates, he came ahead, he cleared it off. And while we are in the fourth PGT, at that time, I was very playing a major role in that pivot role. But after when we went to HGT, that time I tried a little bit to dominate and I tried a little bit to come into a highlight. But I was knowing that अगर इसमें काम नहीं हुआ तो ठीक है, because PGT में अच्छा perform किया. And sir said that if you perform in PGT well, so you don't need to be very elated when you perform with HGT, but be very calm. And if there is required, then help, but don't dominate. So I tried a little bit to dominate in HGT, and a couple of my friends went ahead. But then I thought कि यार अभी कर चुके हैं, so it's not very required कि घुसना चाहिए. So I just laid back, supported him here and there, but we crossed the obstacle. And then command task also, and immediately I was able to solve first approach about 5 minutes later. And then he says कि यहाँ पे वो attack हो गया and all the obstacles have been destroyed, go from other approach. So that time also it was quite helpful in understanding. And that's the moment when most of the times under pressure we forget. But this time I did not forget, and it was with me the whole time. So I was able to solve the whole process regarding same a couple of few points, just formula which we were taught.
Utkarsh, your video is not visible. Okay, now it is. Okay. Yes, you were telling about that you were able to solve all the structures. So how long was your course and was it online or offline?
Okay, the course was online and it was about 4 days for the GTO.
Okay. So like, didn't you feel like you were not performing on the ground? So will it be that much helpful? Like any such questions cross your mind?
Little bit of questions are always there in an aspirant's mind. ये online करा रहे हैं GTO होगा. So
Ah,
I just thought that one time one of my mentors, Colonel Samir sir, he had told me that even if you are seeing the obstacles on screen, but it does not mean that you won't be able to do it. So you have to be crisp and clear what you have to do, because once in a while you'll be standing at the back and you have to give ideas. So that thing flashed in my mind and I decided that this is the moment. यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं तो हम लोग solution बताना तो सीख लेंगे. Let's just go with it, and whatever help I can get, I need it. So I went there and actually they over delivered. So it was very much required. Yeah.
okay, great. So of course, like when you are getting ideas, so definitely you you outshine the group, and obviously GTO also takes your ideas if those are workable, right?
Hmm.
So that happened with you clearly. You told me. Okay, so what about the rest of the tasks in like ground testing, like your lecturate, your group discussions? So how did you prepare for that, and how did they go?
Okay. See, for lecturate, it started long back when I was at SPI because I was not a good public speaker that time. But about the span of 2 years, I was confident enough that even if there are 100,000 people, I can give a speech confidently. I can talk to them. So it started molding from there enough. And when we reached at about on this level without passing out from SPI, that time I didn't have any problem in group discussions or lecturettes, wait anything. So I was very confident कि GD lecturer तो संभाल सकते हैं, group में भी देख लेंगे. But then my thing was that screening, because since I have been screened out twice, so it was circling in my mind यार कितना ही अच्छा कर लूँ ये ले क्यों नहीं रहे अंदर. So I talked to sir कि sir थोड़ा tips वगैरह दे दो. What can I do about screening? So he told me, sir Vishal sir guided me all along that ऐसा नहीं था कि एक बार कोर्स खत्म हो गया तो तू जा अपनी भैंस चला. Like, no, not in that case that you have to leave. And yeah, whenever I used to call him, he was available to take my calls, and he always helped me. So even when I got screened out and I was going for my TS interview, TS SSB interview, he arranged an interview for me in a very short notice. And that time also the interview was very grilling, and I was literally sweating and sitting inside my room. So I knew that I'm lacking very a lot of preparation. And I prepared everything. In the next interviews also, this became a habit to structure the data. That raw data itna hai, we have to arguments itne hai वैसे. So when I went for my SSB, while I was thinking for lecturate, that thing came in, and that thing also played a role. That we have to introduce first like this, and then earlier my approach at SP, I combined both of those and got best of both worlds.
Exactly. Okay, so you underwent mock interviews, right?
Yeah.
So if I ask you to compare both the interviews, like the one which you underwent in the SSB and here in SSB Wings, which one was more difficult?
SSB wings is the way.
Okay. So definitely, if you're going for hunting lion, like wolf, you should prepare for the lion. So that is what you were preparing for.
Yeah.
Okay. So Utkarsh, how the mock interview helped you in your interview, the interview part, in personal interview part in SSB?
My mock interview, mostly the interview did not play a big role, but the feedback I got after that, I'm very getting scared about the interview, the questions which they are asking, or how the officer is reacting. I'm looking at their expressions a lot, and thing was that I was very serious. कि ये पूछ लिया गलत हो गया, what should I do now? So that was the thing. But when I reached in SSB, I was very cool, calm, and composed. That जो पूछ लेगा देख लेंगे. Max to max, what will he ask? Yeah, I've seen the worst. Whatever comes, it's better than that. So, so I went there, and whatever GK questions he was asking, I was unsure. I used to just tell him, sir, I don't know. Or either way, I used to give him an answer, which was generic a bit, but it was fair enough to the point. Like I was speculating a few other things in my mind while he was asking the questions. Also, about these questions of comprehensive questionnaire. So I was already been asked at SSB Wings interview, and he took the different road. Like he asked one question, then he totally went away, asked to probe more on that question for 4 5 questions. Then he said, "Okay, continue." So I understood that ये भी हो सकता है. So I was well prepared. I created a chain of thoughts कि school में कैसे जाते हैं कि first comes academics, then comes your teachers, then comes your curricular activities, then your friends, and then I took that map in my mind, and whatever he used to ask, I started making a link between them. So this way also, and he told me अभी जितना 10 15 दिन है, make a raw data about it and this. So this approach I used in my TS attempt, but since I was not able to go in, so I couldn't perform or apply it. But in NDA attempt, I understood that it's a raw data. I have to know about everything in my PIQ. So I prepared PIQ like my life depends on it. And when I went over there, even though a lot of questions were not asked regarding that, but I was confident enough that even if the question comes out of this, I will be able to answer.
Exactly. That confidence comes from preparation. And that there is a perception that SSB is a personality test, so there's no need to prepare. So what is your take on that?
Every test has to be prepared, be it anything. So be it a personality test, be it something else, because personality test you have to prepare your personality to face it. Be it any kind of a test. Even if it's some test which requires zero preparation, like how fast can you sleep, you still have to prepare. You have to get tired at the point right time. So every test needs preparation. There is nothing like unprepared test and तुम ऐसे ही चले गए मुंह उठा के and you won. So there is no battle like that.
And like most of us just don't know our personality. So knowing ourselves is a task in itself. So
Right.
that actually needs a lot of preparation and like introspection, I would say. Okay. So Utkarsh, like, was there any point in your interview where you felt like, oh, okay, like, what should I do now? Like, were you blank at any point of time?
Mostly no, but there was a point when I was grey. So this was the area when he asked me that what are your the two good qualities, good bad qualities. So I went with them. I answered the good qualities and I was also answering my bad qualities. And in one of the point I was thinking ये बताना भी चाहिए या नहीं. So I went ahead and I just thought यार ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा, just go with it. And it was like I was a little shy initially. So I just told him कि sir, I take time to open up with people. So after some time, then I open up with them. But I don't open up with people. So this was also one thing which was going around कि ये बता दूंगा तो कुछ affect होगा कि नहीं initially. But this time I just thought कि I am like this. Just tell him. So I modified that answer a little bit and I gave them. Yeah. So after that he asked for justification. I gave it to him. And that was to be thought of, and every person has that kind of an one or the other moments, or the time we have to be witty by our own self.
Right. And you must have learned it while your interviews, which you have underwent before, like
Yeah.
how to tackle such things, right?
Mm.
Okay. So, Utkarsh, like if I ask you, which is your favorite part of the SSB, like GTO or site test? Like site test, I don't think anybody's favorite it can be because it is the most tiring exercise, I think, in the entire SSB. And like personal interview, which one is your favorite part?
Group obstacle race, GTO.
Okay. So, like in COVID times, they were not conducting those. So, you had that?
Yeah, yeah, we had that.
Okay. Okay. That, of course, that is the most fun part because you don't feel like you do feel like competing and every group is winning. Like
Mm.
each instructor, like every GTO is telling their groups that you are the winners. So,
Yeah.
okay. We enjoy that. Of course. Okay, so after that, coming to the last part of SSB, that is the conference. Uh, like there is a different level of excitement for conference, or we can say nervousness, if I'm terming it right. So, how was your experience of conference?
My conference, went playing Antakshari at the waiting hall. We,
That's great.
we few people, one of my course mates from SPI, Siddharth. So we both were together. We came together, got screened in, and later on we were staying in the quarters together. After that, at the time of conference, also we were. What thing happened was I was just not 21, he was 22, so we were also in the same room on parallel birds. So we both already had a good bonding. वहाँ गए, we were singing songs and tapping beats along with it. We were both were completely relaxed, no tension. क्या होगा कॉन्फ्रेंस जा चुके हैं पहले भी देख लेंगे इस बार भी कुछ नथिंग. So before waiting, like I had a very long time of waiting, and what happened was like fate would have it. There was this corps commander who was supposed to be visiting on that day, 14th of March. So he had this visit. It lasted for about 45 1 hour good, and then he came in and he sat for a conference. And I was unaware that he's sitting there. I was looking at this surrounding. There are two big fountains in Bhopal, which you can see. So I was looking over there, how birds are forming a formation, how wind is affecting that, etc. And I was singing songs with them. And then when I went in, I saw that there is a lieutenant general rank officer sitting in. I thought, wow, immediately lieutenant general बुलाया इन्होंने. Then I went in, I just sat there, good morning, salutations, etc. And I was quite familiar to uniform now since I've seen a lot of officers. And being an SPI, I got enough exposures. So I was not very scared about talking to an officer or panel of them. So it was fine because in SPI also there was a panel interview. And from then and there itself, we were learning that officer se kaise baat karna hai and how we have to be with our seniors. So now they started asking out questions and I was answering them and I was keeping a smile, laughing around, and I treated it like a normal interview. And my discussion lasted about good 5-10 minutes. And when I went inside, it also was about 15-20 minutes. So I talked to them, I came out. And everybody was saying, तेरा तो हो जाएगा, तेरा तो है, ठीक है. ऐसे यार बहुत बार हो जाएगा बोल रखे हैं, इस बार भी देख लेते क्या होता है. So I came at results were announced immediately, almost as immediately as test number 23 finished. About 5-10 minutes later, the results were announced, and only two of us got recommended, 21 and 22.
Okay, wonderful. So that feeling is unmatchable when your chess number has been called, and sometimes you even feel like, oh, is it my chess number? And you cross check. So that also happens sometimes. So Utkarsh, so it feels really we are really proud of you, how you kept the persistence and you kept on going, and finally you achieved that. So anything you want to say for SSB Wings, like how it, like already you have mentioned everything, but still if there is anything you want to share about your experience with SSB Wings.
Well, what happened was there is no stigma like this that online GTO का नहीं हो सकता. It can happen if you have the will to do it. You can practice there, and there are so many obstacles to practice from. You will get resources that there's no obstacle left that you will be wondering कि इसका आएगा तो क्या कर लूँगा, because there are majorly and only 3-4 types of obstacle and their modifications. So once you learn the basics, you will be able to apply it anywhere. So there is nothing like you can't study it online. It can also be done, and since I've known that it is SPSB Wings is opening offline also, so it would be a different level coaching now. And I missed the chance of going for SSCA, but I've seen the pics and trailer, but I believe that people should go for it.
Okay, so if I ask you why SSB Wings, like why did you choose SSB Wings?
Okay, so it came from references from multiple areas. I had joined earlier a Telegram group which I used to practice GD from with different people because it was COVID time and we were on leave from SPI at that time. So I thought कि अब घर बैठे थोड़ा practice कर लेते हैं. So I used to practice with my course mates daily. And then here also I used to be practicing on Telegram group. So there was Avanya Beniwal. So she used to give different people reviews about it and how they are performing. And from her I got to know about SSB Wings. So then I went on to SSB Wings, explored that page, here kya bata rahe hain. And then it was not very like sticking to the coaching. So I've mostly talked to very ex-SSRs who have been alumni of SPI, as well as board president of Islamabad. So I saw that there was a common link between them. That these people are not selling some different thing about coaching, or not developing that कि तुमको यही लिखना चाहिए, there is this right and wrong. So I understood that these people have something. So let us just go once. That people are giving good results, and maybe our name can be one of it. So I just went for it.
Yeah, and it happened. Of course, you always dream something to make it a reality, and that actually happened. Okay, Utkarsh, so it was really nice talking to you and having you here. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best for your future. And
Thank you.
yes, thank you, Utkarsh.
Thank you.